this is Valerie Lingen with Ledgeview Partners. In today's topic, we are going to talk about using business intelligence tools to extend CRM. So as you can see in the slide, we're going to talk about CRM solutions like Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics to provide us with access to an unlimited amount of information. In this session, we will examine how organizations of all sizes can use business intelligence tools to boost productivity, gain sales and market intelligence, and insights into consumer behavior, and most important, turn the data you have into actionable information. As I said, my name is Valerie Lingen. I am a senior business analyst at Ledgeview Partners and have been with them for about 3 years now. I have a background, although in Microsoft Dynamics for over 10 years. And also presenting today, we have Tom Lemrad, who has been with Ledgeview Partners since the beginning of time and is our pre-sales consultant.
Hello, yeah, and before joining Ledgeview, I did have a background in data warehousing and business intelligence. So that's kind of where my background is, and hopefully I can provide a little insight too on this during the presentation part.
Okay, so what is business intelligence? Business intelligence is the ability to take all the data being generated by a business and present easy to digest performance measures or trends that will inform management decisions. So even though ERP and CRM solutions continue to evolve and are getting easier to use, there's still a need to take this data to the next level. You've all heard the term big data. Today's software offers a means to capture everything, to collect the many detailed transactions that focus on sales, orders, financial, and product-specific data. But often you can't see these trends or the big picture. The use of data analytics can filter through the raw data to find a selection of data points that represent the health of a process or business as a whole. This can reduce the need to weed through those large spreadsheet exports that you have that require all this reformatting in order to perform your analysis. Business intelligence tools can save analytical time and increase reporting speed. So some examples of business intelligence tools. You have on the Dynamics 365 side, there's Microsoft Power BI, also Tableau. And then on the Salesforce side for BI tools, we have Wave Analytics. And then again, Microsoft Power BI can expand and across multiple databases, so that fits there, and as also does Tableau. And on the right side here, we have a Gartner chart here. And you'll notice that Tableau and Microsoft are those leaders for completeness of application and also execution. And then not too far down is Salesforce, which is an up and running candidate there. So how does business intelligence boost productivity? First of all, you're going to blend data from CRM and other databases. So this can be your ERP solution or your accounting system, various spreadsheets, SQL databases that can be your homegrown applications or applications, other applications that are SQL-based that you're using, and even those marketing tools that are becoming so popular in the industry right now. It's going to also allow you to share the knowledge in a collaborative decision-making structure. So it's going to bring in this information from multiple locations, and you can pull it together into an analytic that makes sense to you. And in addition to that, you can interact with this data. So where do you start? You start with raw data and this chart shows an example of order data. So it's kind of representing your spreadsheet or an export or something like that of your database. And sometimes you're able to, maybe make a join and add a little bit of complexity to that. But then from there, you can turn it into an interactive dashboard. So this dashboard represents a map, and it kind of shows things by territory for your sales and products. It has your sales by subcategory. There's some customer breakdown information. And on the right-hand side there, you're able to do filtering of this information, which allows you to interact a little bit better. You can also ask business intelligence tools questions about your data. You can set colors and quickly understand the status of your business in a visual manner. The basis of your business intelligence tools is what's called key performance indicators, or KPIs. KPIs are critical when planning a BI solution. Data is being collected, but what are you learning from it? BI provides the tools to organize and learn from the data and bring the multiple databases together into one platform. So some examples of key performance indicators across the different areas of your business. So, for example, your sales analytics. It's going to be your top products and revenue, your sales opportunities by territory, your sales ratios, returns on investment, things like that. And then in your service area, so your customer service, they're on the phone, they're busy working with your customers. You want to understand, what is the customer satisfaction? How long is it taking to get items resolved, or those different incidents resolved? What kind of complaints? Are they escalating throughout various departments before they're getting an answer? And, service calls by product. So, what area of your business is getting the most calls back and questions? And then on the right side, we have your marketing analytics. So over here, you can see, information about your seminars and your attendees by locations. That would be a great map analytics. There's average lead scores, business forecasting, advertising, and even, click-through rate information you could do. So just a snapshot of different visualization types. So this is not all encompassing across all of the different tools, but it gives you an idea of how your data can be represented to you. You'll want to make sure when you're looking at a business intelligence application that you want give your end users flexibility. So depending upon the requirements, this may include a tool that offers web-based solutions and leverages parameter-driven forms for filtering flexibility, or personal end user scheduling, so that way you can email them reports of the different dashboards and analytics. You can also alternate, want to have flexibility on output options. So if you want to expose this to your users through an HTML site, send it to them via an Excel or PDF file, and what devices are they going to be using to interpret and receive this information? All important things to be thinking about when deciding on which business intelligence tool you're going to use. So these analytics hold great potential for helping organizations readily access the enterprise information needed to make informed decisions and ultimately achieve your business objectives. But with any technology, the implementation, rollout, and usage practices play a critical role in the success of BI. So where do you start? You want to start by, as I said, defining those KPIs and considering your audience. Who's going to be receiving this information? Is it just your executives and management? Is it your sales team? Is it your service staff? Who is that audience, and what are you going to express to them? You want to tell them a story, and also search for patterns, so that way you can express those trends. So if you're thinking about where you're at today, what do you want to learn from your data? What information are you missing? What do you need to know to plan for the future? It's important to remember, only create visualizations if it provides value back to the company. So some best practice points, and then Tom's going to do some demos for us as well. Best practices. Again, define your business need before selecting a tool. Without a specific purpose, BI really has an impact on business. The starting point for creating business intelligence solutions should be when you identify a project that will solve a specific problem. Solve a specific problem. It means that information will accelerate a slow-running process, or you want to eliminate a bottleneck someplace, or reduce the cost of doing business, or even become a new revenue source. It's important to define those KPIs. Another key thing, identify data integration method before what you're going to use, because it can be timely and cost effective. So LedgeView partners can help you with this. We're going to help you figure out how to clean the data source so that you result in improved performance. Because if you bring everything into your business intelligence tool, it needs to sort through everything in order to represent those different graphs, and you don't need all of it. You may want to consider implementing a data warehouse when working with multiple databases. So if you have things coming from your accounting system and your marketing solution, and from CRM and from other SQL databases, really that needs to be brought into a data warehouse and cleansed and filtered out, and have that data managed before you link it up to your business intelligence tool. Again, it's a performance thing, it's a functionality, and your end users will be happy in the end that you did that. You'll also want to include the true end user in your business intelligence selection process. So it's important to you, as I said, define that audience and know who is it that's going to be using this tool and getting that information, because they're going to be a real true key to those definitions. And also, very important, plan ahead. Business intelligence projects are a business investment. There's an analysis phase, a design phase, the implementation phase, and also the cost of the business intelligence tool itself. Some things to keep in mind. And now Tom's going to review some of the demos.
Great, thank you very much, Val. And so now I get the fun part of this webinar, is that I get to actually show you the tools and the front end of the tool. So I'm not going into how you create, the dashboards or the reports or the lenses that you're going to be seeing here today. I will be demonstrating the two products that we represent here at LedgeView. So we'll be showing Power BI from the Microsoft platform, and then Salesforce Wave Analytics, of course, from the Salesforce platform. So let me jump into that right now. Okay. So before I, kind of jump into here, I do want to say and just stress on, some of the points that Valerie was saying before, is that, everything that Valerie was saying was very, very good about, you need to plan, you need to make sure that you have a project, you need to make sure that where your data sources are coming from, how does stuff join together? If I have two different data sources, do they join together? How do they join together? How do I match records together? So lots and lots of things. So, 10, 15 years ago, in order to do any type of good BI, you needed to have, a data warehouse or a data mart, and there was, tons of things that you need to have. You probably had whole developer teams that built those and maintained them and managed them. Now with the new Power BI, now with the new tools, you don't need to have a data warehouse. Again, just depending on where your data is all coming from, it is recommended sometimes if you need to clean it or join it, or if it's complicated or you need to roll up data, you have millions of rows of data, and it's good to aggregate it before you get into a reporting tool. But the power of these tools are that they can connect directly to your data sources too, and you can kind of do that. So I'm not going to go through any of that connection, but I'm just going to kind of show you the wow and the pizzazz today. So like I said, I get the fun job. So we will start with Power BI. So Power BI is a application that's in your Office 365 suite. So if you guys have an Office 365, let's say E3, E1, E5, you might already have Power BI. So, check with your admins or just log in and maybe just play around and look at your tools down here. And, when you're in Office 365, just see if you have Power BI on here and just see what you have access to. So there is a desktop version. It can integrate with your Excel also. So there's lots of uses to Power BI. And as you saw on that Gartner platform, it is one of the leaders. I mean, it's way up in the quadrant. So they have put in a lot of time and effort. Microsoft put a lot of time and effort into this. And, it does tightly integrate with Dynamics 365. As you saw, it can pull in data from Salesforce. It can pull data from pretty much any relational source and then, display it. There is a mobile capability to this, and all of the tools that we support do have, mobile capability, from Power BI to the Salesforce Wave Analytics and then Tableau. So we will be showing you, of the two tools that we're demoing today, we'll just be showing you the web version right now, but know that there is a mobile version, and, again, the kind of the setup behind the scenes. But let's jump into this. So this is just an example of a sales manager dashboard inside of Power BI. So if we look at it here, is that, I have a lot of information about, about my sales. There's some numbers, how much I've won, what's my revenue, average size of the deal. Again, we see this as that here's that kind of that tree. You can see that my financial industry, took over more than all the other industries, and it's very visual to see that. You have your maps, and this maps are probably not as nice as some of them that you can create. So this is just, where are my revenue coming from country? So we're not even breaking it down to like city or state or anything like that, or province. So this is, these are kind of plain, but as you saw in some of the stuff that Val was showing you, you can get very extensive on how you want to do your mapping. And then again, you have some areas where you can just list your open opportunities, or, you can just have different types of charts that are here. So if you notice, if you are familiar with Dynamics 365 and their, dashboarding capabilities, if you look at Power BI, it takes it to the next level. That's why we really like, if you have Dynamics 365 already, Power BI is a great, tool that can supplement that information. And you can actually source your Power BI right inside of your Dynamics 365. Now, again, you do not have to have Dynamics 365 to use Power BI, but they do tightly integrate, and they're really great tools to use together. But like we mentioned, you can also use Power BI to go directly against your Salesforce environment or any relational database that can go out there. So here are just some examples of some of the dashboard, some of the charts and some of the metrics that you can see here. But I'm just right here and I'm looking at this and I'm just like, you know what? These are great, but I just want to see how many how many opportunities have we had so far. So, you know what? I'm just going to ask this a question. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to start asking a question. So I'm going to say, oops, and you're going to see my great typing skills. How many total opportunities? Opportunities. All right, and hit enter here. And I can see that there's 232 opportunities. And now I'm going to say, you know what? I want to see how many opportunities are open. And now if you notice, there's 92. So as you can see is that I can be asking questions into here. There's things that I can configure behind the scenes that it looks for keywords, you know, right? So if you look at this, it's looking at opportunities and it's looking at open, you know, so that's what it's grabbing as the keywords, and that's what it's, you know, showing me this count. This can bring up graphs, this can bring up charts, you know, this can bring up this can bring up the raw data if you want it to. So again, this is more configuration that you can set up behind the scenes. And again, it's smart enough. Once you set up your data sources, it can start grabbing some of these terms and just, you know, calculating this information dynamically behind the scenes also. So this is a powerful tool that I can go into here and, you know, I can start looking at my dashboards, but now I can ask specific questions about my data. And again, I'm going to say that this has improved over time. And so, you know, how you're asking the question, sometimes some of the verbiage, you just have to make sure that the verbiage is correct. But overall, it's a pretty nice tool that you can utilize to just, you know, add more value, because you might not be able to graph or show everything, but now you have the ability to ask some questions. As long as the data is sourced, you should be able to ask a question about it. And, you know, Power BI would be able to, you know, answer your questions. So that is a nice feature inside of Power BI here. So I'm going to go back and look at some of this information. And, you know, just like in Dynamics 365, I can drill into my dashboards. I can do that same type of drill through into here, and it actually drills down into reports. So Power BI has both dashboards and then they have reports. And so I can drill into this and I can, you know, drill into here, and now it's actually creating the reports behind the scenes. And now it just gives me a little bit more information. And these reports are actually, you know, they can be other dashboards or they can be other charts, I should say, but the reports are kind of your drill through. So now again, this is all configured. So now depending on what I click on in my dashboard, it can drill into specific reports. And notice down here is that I can have multiple reports that are being displayed. So I can go through here, and so here's my sales performance one, you know, gives me some of the information, but I want to look at sales leader dashboard. So now this is where we were talking about before, is that, you know, I can look at my different areas and I can look at my different industries, and I know the financial industry was pretty good. So now I can start filtering on here. So I can do financial, and notice how it adjusts my different charts based on, you know, based on what I'm looking at here. Otherwise, I can get rid of that and just look at total items. So if I look at win-loss, again, this just gives me more capabilities to drill into the different information, see it in a little bit different way. I can, you know, I can keep drilling down from here. I do not have it set up in this demo, but I could go into here and, you know, I could drill into this. Maybe I want to see the details. You could have another report sitting on this that you could drill down into another report to see that. So now, you know, if you notice this, these are the, you can keep building this drill through capability and expanding what they're seeing. And, you know, just based on what people are looking for, you can, you know, kind of build that experience. And now, would I use this dashboard as a main dashboard? Probably not, or you know, if I go back to the beginning of it, the reason why is that there's too much on there. You know, kind of what Valerie was saying during her presentation was that, you know, you want to make sure that you limit it to only the core features that you want to see. Same thing with the drill through. You know, I have all these reports that are going across here, but, you know, this looking through all this information, some of it, you know, is repeating, but, you know, now I can just see stuff at a little bit different level. But again, these are more around examples. And here, again, we can bring back the actual information and just look at the raw data compared to just looking at charts the whole time. So you just have many different capabilities that you can look at, you know, looking at these different ways to kind of slice and dice, that's the term I like to use, of the data. So these are, you know, these are the Power BI, you know, base functionality that we wanted to show you today. And with both of the tools that I'm showing you today, there's many more functionality. There's many more use cases that you can use them for. So, you know, if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You know, drop us a line on our website. We'll be more than happy to talk with you around, you know, how Power BI can be useful for you, how we can, you know, help you start implementing some of these BI reporting in your organization, and, you know, really start helping you go down that planning phase to really get core BI reporting for you. So the next area that we're going to show you, or the next tool that I want to show you, is the Salesforce environment. So, if you log into Salesforce, if I bring up the app launcher, notice that Wave Analytics is part of the Salesforce environment. So Wave Analytics sits inside of Salesforce. So I can do it right through my app launcher. And then when I launch that app, it actually brings up my Wave Analytics area inside a separate. So it is a a different URL that's in there, but again, it all sits inside and resides inside of Salesforce. So inside here, notice that we have the ability to browse, and I can use the search capabilities. Otherwise, I can see all the dashboards that I have. I can have my different apps. So apps are just kind of dashboards that either I can create my own or I can share them with others. And again, these can be brought up on mobile. They can be embedded in different areas. So, the apps are just little dashboards that you can bring up or show, and create them yourself, either, by clicking on here to create a private one or by clicking a shared app that others can create. So now you can kind of create your own. Otherwise, you have these kind of predefined or pre-built dashboards that are out here, and you can have multiple different dashboards. And if you notice here, I mean, we have this lots and lots of dashboards that, kind of were created in this demo environment. Everything from sales and service, you can have marketing in here. So like Val was mentioning is that, there's no limit to what you have that you can report against. And just like Power BI, if I go back to everything that's available here, you can have multiple different types of data sets. You can create multiple different data sets, and you can look at multiple different data sets. And again, the data sets do not have to reside inside of Salesforce. You can have other data sets that are being surfaced through here. So, and one of the areas that unfortunately I'm not demoing today, but one of the things is that you can get, let's say, an Excel spreadsheet emailed to you, or maybe even a PDF document emailed to you, and you want to do some analytics against that. Wave Analytics allows you to do, to quickly do some analytics against those types of data sources. So, it's a very powerful tool. It can do a lot of things. And as you notice on that Gartner chart, is that it's in the lower right, so it means it's going up towards the leader. But with most of the things what Salesforce does, it's in that upper right hand quadrant pretty soon, and it's really gaining ground over the last year. So I mean, this is a very robust tool that they are building inside the Salesforce platform. So let's look at some of these dashboards. And again, just to give you some of the capabilities that are in here, one of the things that you're going to notice is that you're going to see the word lenses. So lenses are reports. And for, old guys like me, reports are what I say, but lenses, I guess, are the cool terms now. So if you see lenses in here, just think of them as reports. That is Salesforce's, term for reports. But let's jump into the dashboard. So I'm just going to start looking at some of these dashboards. So again, here's the sales leader overview dashboard. And so if you notice, we can see the different areas. We can look at what are different, what are we forecasting here? What does our forecasting look like? Right now, we're just bringing in commit, but I want to add best case onto this to see how it impacts my, impacts my dashboard. So notice it's very easy to go into here and, kind of show different items by drilling into different items or adding additional, let's say, filters onto here. So I want to see what else is in my pipeline too. So now I have, 5.8 million forecasted because of the things that I'm adding into here, plus whatever already has been closed as one. Now, if you look at this, I can also go up here and say view as, and notice, so I'm viewing as CEO, so I want to see everything. But if I want to, view it as different areas, if I want to go into here and I want to view it as central sales, notice it dynamically changes again, the information that's through here based on what I'm filtering. So it's very easy to dynamically filter the information and again, kind of show the raw data that's on here. Now, again, if we're related back to Salesforce data, we can actually go into here and here's an opportunity. So if I want to drill into that opportunity, I can open a record, or maybe I'm just kind of asking about that, or I want to follow up with them. So maybe I can create an event, or I can just ask a task for them to follow up with me. So again, I can do kind of action items right through the dashboard into, my actual records, bring up the actual records, start kind of answering my own questions around what is the story or what's making up really the information around this dashboard. But if you notice, we have different dashboards types that go across, so we can do pipeline, customer, geography, source, and product. So I have all these kind of pre-opened already. So let's look at the, we can look at the leader, the pipeline. So we can see that, what it was, things that have closed as one, closed as lost, kind of go out of the pipeline, and now we can see what the total is in our open pipeline. Again, this is all around what we were talking about before. If we want to just easily take a look at what we're forecasting, let's just say, I just want to look at how this looks from a best case place. So I can easily select it. Now we can go into here and just see, we can continue to drill down into these different areas, or we can, group it by different areas. So it's a very dynamic dashboard, capability that's very easy for us to see and kind of get into the different information. So let's look at, again, performance by customer, but let's look at geography. So again, here's kind of your mapping capabilities, and this one's just an easy map area too, where it's just kind of doing different shades. As I can filter on different items, it changes what we're looking at and where we're getting our information. So it is, I hope we have this type of year. If we have 885% growth, that'd be awesome. But the reason why we have so much growth is because we don't have a lot of data from last year. So in this demo data, unfortunately, it's just we're doing really good growth because we're having a really good 2017, because we don't have a lot of information in 2016. But again, just different charts and different graphs. I have the ability to drill into any of these items, and again, that's what they call for lenses. So if I have lenses set up into here, I can see what the actual raw data looks like on these different items. So if I go back into here, and let me just look at opportunities here, and let me see what this looks like. So these are what the lenses are. Again, this just gives me a count of rows, but look at how I can do the different things in the lenses. So very quickly, I can switch it to different types of charts or graphs that I want to see what this data looks like. Otherwise, I can just go right into the tables. So I can just grab the table, and now I can go into here and start seeing, what the actual data looks like. So this is just a simple lens that was created around the data set. And now if I want to go into here, again, even if I want to be talking to Ricky, so Ricky East or Wendy, I can actually go and just talk, open up their record and see some more information about them if I want to do that. Otherwise, again, I can go right into here and do some things, do my action items against the opportunity. So because the data is residing right here within Salesforce, I am able to interact with it and do action items against it right through, either my dashboards, and or I can, do it through my lenses, which are my reports. So again, with inside of Wave Analytics, just like everything else, we want to make sure we're planning, and we want to make sure that we have the data set up and the data is getting loaded, and if there's any integrations that we need to look through. So there is a lot of kind of that planning stages that we need to look at when using either the tool, but both tools have a nice user interface that you can utilize to kind of start building your own dashboards once you get the hang of it. Just as long as the data is there, you can start cranking out your reports and your lenses and your dashboards based on the data that you have inside of your two environments. Now I know this is only about a 35-40 minute webinar, so we can't show you all the features and functionality. We just wanted to hopefully whet your palate today and just kind of show you some of the high level capabilities of one of the two premier BI tools that are on there. So we looked at Power BI, and then we just got done looking at Wave Analytics. But now, like I mentioned, there's a lot more information that we could be looking at. So here are some resources that you can access to look at, some Power BI and some Wave Analytics information and Tableau. So these are, the three tools that we have experience with, the three tools that we have used. Now, again, there are many, many, many different BI tools that are out there in the marketplace. If you look at that Gartner chart that we had up, we really like to deal with, kind of the industry leaders out there. So that's why we have, kind of focused and chose these. But there's other ones that we're willing to work with you on. Just give us a call, ask us some questions. It's all around the setup of it. It's all around where your data is. It's all around making sure that you have the proper design and plan in place. Once you have that, I don't want to say the tool doesn't matter. Some tools have better features than others, but there's all that planning no matter what tool you utilize. So again, we hope that today was informative. We just wanted to, kind of touch or break the surface of what is available in BI and, kind of around both Dynamics 365 and Salesforce. We thank you for today. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Please reach out to our website. We'll get we'll get back to you. We'll answer any of your questions that you have. Otherwise, if you're currently working with us, please reach out to your reps. And again, we're more than willing and more than happy to, continue this discussion on what makes sense for you and, kind of the realm of BI in your organization. At that time, both Valerie and I thank you for your time today, and we look forward to speaking with you at a future date. Thank you.